Hello, everybody. Nice to see some people in the chat already. Just 1 second here. Alright. So before I start, once again, hi everyone. The Tomden CEO said, are you planning to make the rooms of the scrap characters? And fun fact, the first draft, there were supposed to be 10 kids. Yeah, I'm familiar with the fact that there were supposed to be more kids in the original. However, I've never found any information about what the rooms for those kids are supposed to be, so yeah, I don't really plan to make those because I don't know of any information that exists for them. Okay, so I know I streamed on Thursday, and I have another stream going today, which hasn't happened in a long time, having streams this close together. But basically, I don't have like a big project to work on today, but I have several smaller things that I just have been meaning to do that I'm going to do today, this afternoon. But before I do that, I will show what I've done since my stream on Thursday. There was warming candies, vanilla fudge mountain, and spotty powder. I remember, I think, now that you mentioned it, vanilla fudge mountain and spotty powder sounds familiar, but I'm pretty sure vanilla fudge mountain, I'm pretty sure just became fudge mountain, essentially, in the 2005 movie. And spotty powder, I think, was supposed to be really similar to fudge mountain, but I've never heard of warming candies before. But that's good information, thanks. I might try to see if I can find a way to implement that in there. Yeah, the snow was like sugar, if I remember correctly. Because that does sound familiar now that it was mentioned. Okay, but anyway. So since Thursday, I'll just show real quick what I've done was, this is the yet to be named room that has like the swirls in it. The biggest thing is the waterfall was changed, so instead of having stripes, vertical stripes, now it looks much more like organic, the way that the chocolate and the milk is flowing, so I think that looks a lot better. Also up here on the entrance bridge, I extended the entrance just a little bit, so whenever you come into the room, you can gotta get a better view, a little bit of a tease of what's below. Before I used to have it just stop right here like the rest of it. You couldn't really tell as well what was going on, so when you come in, you can kind of walk down over here and see. I don't know if I talked about this, but originally my plan on how you get down there was to have spiral staircases like I've done in a few other areas, but I kind of wanted to just do a really long, like regular staircase on both sides. It helps fill in some of this dead space over here, so whenever you're looking, just kind of more to look at. Before the last stream ended, I kind of finished by putting some of these glass windows on these things, and I put that on all 8 of them. And then I also went in and put some lights on these like sphere things. I'll turn this down. I did put the actual lights in. I haven't done the rest of the room, just these. So there's lights on the sides now, just to add a little bit of color, a little bit of interest. And that is the same for the front. So when you come in, it's just a little bit more interesting to look at. But for right now, it's your birthday today. Well, happy birthday, Gaming Octopus. Hope you have a good day. Am I going to include Minus Land that was described in the Great Glass Elevator? I have thought about it, but I don't think I will, because I feel like that would be almost impossible to translate into the game. I feel like, sure, I could build an area and just call it Minus Land, but there wouldn't really be anything I could add to make it obvious what it's supposed to be in Minecraft. I just don't think I'd be able to. Industrial Phil is so cool. Thanks, I appreciate it. Commentary. Norrell says, are you tired of building a factory? It's just that I've temporarily stopped building my factory right now, and I'm wondering why you're doing it so productively. No, I'm not tired of building it. I did take quite a long break last winter. From November to just after Christmas. So basically a 2-month period, I really didn't work on it at all. But also, I'm just much busier now. So last summer, I had a lot more free time where I was working on this every single day. I don't have that much free time anymore, so now I pretty much only work on it for a few hours on the weekends, and then if I'm lucky during the week, I'll work on it maybe 1 or 2 days after work for like an hour. So I just don't spend as much time on the map anymore, which prevents me from burning out on it. Other than that, I also just really like working on it. I like making it bigger and bigger. It's very satisfying for me to just see it continue to grow, and that's, I guess, been motivating me to keep working on it. At this point, I'm up to, I think, 56 different rooms. So it's a pretty big build, and yeah, I've just been really enjoying working on it. How many more rooms I had planned? I don't really have a set number. It's just kind of whenever I stop, I feel like to stop doing it. I don't think I'll ever get to 100. I have some ideas for some more, and then after those are put in, that'll probably be it. And then after the map is released, I'll probably continue to add more rooms just for my own enjoyment, and I'll probably live stream those as well. So I don't really have an end in sight. I could probably keep working on this for years, honestly. But yeah, that's, I believe, all I've done since Thursday's live stream. Just those details. So the first thing that I'm gonna work on, I can't remember if I've done this already. Okay, there's a real short little hallway in here that I needed to add. And then the next thing I need to do is I'm going to add in like a floor, basically, for this. And actually what I want to go look and see how I did this on a different room real quick. I have a few other areas where I've done something like this. It's just faster if I just fly over and check real quick. Mainly right here. Okay, that's what I thought. So I'm going to use gray concrete. Now I just have to go back. Okay. So I don't need this track here. This is just temporary. Well, I guess I could have left this in here, because I'm going to be covering it with this anyway. So usually what I've done in other situations like this is I put another like smaller tower in the middle here so you don't just see the door immediately. But I think I'm going to not actually do that for this one, just to make it look a little bit different. I'm not sure if they're in the stream right now, but they were on Thursday. And they've also talked about it in the Discord before, but Ikitomi, another factory builder, they actually have like a legitimate functioning glass elevator ride that doesn't use minecarts. Using the crate mod, and actually earlier today we were discussing how we were going to maybe implement that as well, hopefully, with the crate mod, to just completely get rid of the minecart and mine track, because we're not really a fan of how it looks. We would very much like it to be like the movie, where you actually have the glass box like going from room to room instead of a minecart, because the minecart just doesn't look that good. It's called the crate mod. You can do a lot of crazy stuff like that. there's like so many different things you can do with it. But one of the coolest things about it is like a whole segment of the mod is honestly kind of made for making a working chocolate factory. So you can actually, like, the mod allows you to actually make candy, actually have pipes flowing with chocolate, and having machines make different kinds of candy, and conveyor belts, all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. Alright. So normally, like, these doors are meant to just be like you walk through and then you're into the room, but in some situations I have to extend it a little bit just due to space reasons. So the best way I can describe it is you're kind of supposed to pretend this hallway isn't here, and pretend that this is the other side of the door. So like, here's one door, you ignore this part, and here's the quote-unquote other side of the door. So that's why the glass is only on those two spots. And I'm going to pause real quick because I want to put the name on this room. And I need to go look at the list that I have. So just 1 second. Oh, well, I guess instead of looking at a pause screen. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Be right back screen. Perfect. So I know it had the word chocolate. I'm actually looking at the list, the elevator list right now. Okay. That's what I thought it was going to be. But now let me actually put it in here. It's been a while since I've done one of these signs. I think I put it here. So that's like a pre-made template we have, and then I go in here and I edit it. Except that happens sometimes. Alright, so I can change what it actually says right here. So this room, I guess I'd have to delete that. It's called, I'm calling it Chocolatology. Chocolatology. No, that's not how they spelled it. They spelled it a weird way, chocolate. Yeah, like that, I think. Let me just double check. Chocolatology, yeah. Chocolate without the, oh, I didn't save it, dang it. Like that. And now I'll change the color. It's just this right here. 6 Fs. That should make it white. Yeah. So that's how I do the signs. I spent like, probably spent like 15 minutes a few weeks ago looking through the list of 490 rooms, trying to find a name that fits this room, because this was supposed to be the original chocolate room before they decided on making it what we know it was in the movie. So I can't just call this the chocolate room. We already have a chocolate room, so I feel like Chocolatology is okay. Nothing else really fit the vibe correctly, so I can turn that off and that goes away. And now it's lit up, so if I like turn the brightness down, yeah, obviously like that is lit up. There will be lights in here. I usually put a light right there. I think I usually do a full brightness light. Yeah, so that makes it so it doesn't look so bright. And now in here, I'm just gonna do this now while I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna do dimmer lights. Okay. Can you show the chocolate river tunnels after the inventing room? Yeah, sure. I'll do that in just 1 second. Well, I'll keep this down. We'll go over there real quick and then I'll come back to this. So I don't have any tunnels that go after the inventing room. I gotta fix this. I don't like how this corner looks. I'll make that look better. Imagine if the Oompa Loompas had a Cocoa Beach church. Yeah, that would be interesting. A Cocoa Bean church. So, the only tunnels I have that are after, I guess you could say, the inventing room are over here. I'll turn their brightness up a little bit so you can see a little bit better. I just have these blue domes with rooms in them, and this is actually part of what I want to work on a little bit later. So it's just, I think there's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5, and then there's a 6th one over there. I did redo the tunnels recently, yeah, but they're all before this. So, and then these are like closed off with glass to, when the brightness is how it's supposed to be, it kind of just makes it look bigger than it really is, but you can't go over there. So, this is my extension, and then I have another extension on the other side. This box, there's nothing in there, that's just a dead end. Then I have this one, which needs a little bit of work, and none of these tunnels have been redone yet, so these all need to be rebuilt, and depending on how much time I have today, this might be another thing I start working on. But these tunnels are very outdated. And it leads you to this last final dome, which has the drink fizzery, confectionarium, and engine rooms down here. So that's where my tunnels end. And then real fast, I'll show the redone tunnels. And this is actually another thing we were talking about changing today, are these little connector pieces that are the white tubes. We're probably gonna rebuild these as well. But this is what the tunnels before the inventing room look like. And we're actually gonna, again, be spending some more time over here. I really just have one thing I wanna do over at the chocolatology room, and then we're gonna be spending most of the time over by the river the rest of the stream. Am I going to add a fizzy lifting drinks room? Yes. I have one, and I'll show that real fast since we're real close to it. These doors still need rebuilt. I just remade the 1971 fizzy lifting drinks room. So these are supposed to be the bubbles, and then there's a fan up there that spins. We have bubble sound effects that play in here, but they're turned off right now. So yeah, this is the 71 fizzy lifting drinks room. These are like supposed to be the bottles of fizzy lifting drinks, and there was just kind of like random crap with tables in the corners, so that's what these are. And then you go up. I think we'll probably make it, maybe we'll make it so you actually do float up here. In fact, I think we actually maybe had that feature at one point, but I think it's disabled right now. Or no, I know what it is. I can't really say what it is, but we do have a way that it'll be like the movie, so. Alright, so that was the tunnels. Let me just go back to what I was working on real fast. TV room's closest one. We need to update our little teleportation book, because right now we don't have any of the new rooms on it. So I know I'm gonna forget to do this if I don't do it now, but I want to add in the doors that open up here. So I have like the Axiom is nice, you can have different hot bars, so I have a hot bar that's just for the redstone stuff that I do in this build. There's not a lot of it, it's just usually the doors. And I'm not good at redstone, so if you think I'm doing a bad job, it's because I probably am, but I don't care. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, yep. It's very crude redstone, and just it's quick and dirty, it gets the job done. Put this here just in case. And that's just how I do the doors. One sec. Okay. I was making sure the stream didn't die. I thought for a second it might have, but it looks like it's okay. So usually in this situation, I just put another one right here, because, like I said, you're supposed to pretend this little extender piece doesn't exist. And I have to break that block, or else having that there, like, makes it work really funny with this redstone torch. I always use blue to mark where I have redstone sitting, so I don't. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy if I don't fix it. I always use the blue wool so I know where it is, so I don't break it by accident. Oh, I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. That's because I have this. It's supposed to be right here. Really? Okay, I'll put it here, fine. Okay, need that. Did I do this wrong? Oh, I still have it in the wrong spot. What am I doing? It's because it's so like cramped down here. Okay, now that should be good. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so now the doors work. I know it's really simple, but it's supposed to be. Alright, so that's all I'm doing in here today. I'm not doing anything else in here. Alright, I do, however, want to add all the way at the top, so like if I have the brightness down, you can't really see the top, but I think I'd rather the top be bricks instead of black concrete. This is actually the world build limit, or else I would make this taller so you can't even see the top. But I could install a mod that allows me to do that, but I'm worried about performance issues. Not for my PC, but for other PCs if I install that mod. So I'm probably not going to ever do that. Maybe, I don't know, I might change my mind. Because like my biggest thing I don't like is, yeah, like see how like I'm all the way up here and it like disappears into the mist? I wish I could make these taller in both directions so that you can't see the top or bottom of these ever. But I'd have to build these like probably 200 more blocks in each direction for that effect to be how I want it. I've thought about doing the fog glass trick where you do the different layers of glass with a pocket of air in between. You do like, I think it's like 11 layers of that. And I actually have done that in a few areas of the build, but I've tried it over here and it doesn't look right. You just see the glass at the bottom and it looks strange. For now, I'm just gonna leave this how it is with the track. I'll probably eventually just bring it in here a little bit more, but hopefully, like I said, if we redo the elevator with the create mod, we're gonna get rid of the minecart tracks entirely, so, or at least make them invisible so you can't see them, so. Yeah, I like having the mist. It makes it look better. I just wish I could. I mean, the way I could get around it, obviously, is like I could just make my render distance really low and then it would be like that, where you just don't see anything, or over there, but I don't want to play with my render distance at like 10, or even less. That would just, it wouldn't look good. Okay, so let's go back over to the tunnels. This is the next part I want to work on. When I did this whole like remaking the tunnel project, I got like 80%, 90% done, and then I was just so tired of it that I just stopped and gave up. And I really need to go back and just finish it so I don't have to think about it anymore. And the first thing I'm gonna do is redo these doors like how this one is. It's gonna be a little bit of a pain. I'm not sure if I've ever shown the coffee cream room. I think I have. I think it's just been a really long time. It looks different than all the other rooms, and this is one of the earlier new rooms I built, so you can kind of tell it looks a little outdated, and this will probably get updated to a newer design, more detail put in before the map goes out, but you can see like this tank is full of cream, this one's only half full. This one's like 3/4 full. This one's most of the way full, so I think that's kind of cool. But this needs redone, but what I have to do is redo this door, and when I do that, I actually have to raise the entire room up a little bit. But since this is an elevated walkway, I can just extend the walkway up by 1 block, and that'll make more sense once I actually do it here in a few minutes. So I'm just gonna get started on that. First thing, nope, it's not what I wanted to do. Okay, I was gonna say, I think I just crashed my game, but no, we're good. Let me make sure that's, okay. Hold on, let me make sure I didn't like break that. Okay, yes, fine. What I meant to do is go to here and turn that on, so I can get rid of the sign. Okay. So I pretty much just keep that how it is. It's been a while since I've built one of these. It might be faster if I just copy it, but no, I think I should just build it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so I'm just gonna keep peeking over at that one, see how I did it. It's been, like I said, a while. Do I have to change? No, okay, this should be fine. I thought I had to maybe fill this in with blue concrete, but I think I just do this. Yeah. And this actually is 2 blocks layers thick. Like that. Alright, so this gets filled in. I pretty much just cover the old one up because I don't feel like removing it. And this all has to... Oh, you know, I have... This pops up because I have the Essential mod installed right now. Usually I don't when I'm live streaming. That's why you see this showing up when I press the hotkey to replace blocks, so just ignore that. I forgot to uninstall the mod before I streamed today. And I don't... It's a pain to rebind the keys if you have like 2 bound to 1 thing, so actually, hold on. Now that I'm thinking about it, I need to do it. It's gonna bother me. Alright. Where is it? There. I made that way worse than it actually is. Okay, because I never use that feature, so I don't need it. All right. So now I just build like the original door design up here. So like the original door is still here. It's the same footprint, but the glass arrangement has changed, and then I've never had the like shell that surrounds it in the Chocolate River only. The doors in the hallways do not have this. Only in the river does this part exist. So that's you know what I'm doing. Sorry about that. I had a text. Alright, I believe this was purple. So let me get that. Whoops. This stays. I always mess this part up. Door goes there, right? Yeah. Alright, now I just need the ladder and the fence, and I should just redo my hotbar so I don't have to do this 1,000 times. Yeah, like that. And that's how I do the new doors for the Chocolate River. Now I believe I might not have done it on this one because that was my test. Let me go look at one of these real quick. Thanks. I think they look a lot better. Okay. So I'm just going to put one in the center. One there, and this one needs one. It already has one. It didn't show up before. I actually need to fix this real quick. Well, this was when I was experimenting, and I originally was going to have 2 layers of glass. I thought it would look a little bit better, but I decided against it. Okay. Yeah, so that's how that's supposed to look. This door actually, wait, is this part of my design? Is that a, hold on, sorry, I need to go look again. I think I got rid of that. Yeah, I decided not to include that in my newer ones, so that's not supposed to be there anymore. Alright. Alright, sorry about that. So that's how it's supposed to be. This is one of the only doors in the entire build that will actually not go to anything, because right on the other side of it is the Chocolate River, so I can't really fit anything over here. So unfortunately, that's just for show. What I'm really not looking forward to doing are these, I've been putting it off all these months, is the ones on the diagonal here, because I know they're just going to look weird, because these ones look weird. There's no way to make it look good. But first we can do this here. So you can see this is sort of what I mean is everything gets raised up by 1. So that's why this doesn't line up anymore. Now I believe this shouldn't be here. Sorry, last time I need to do this. Let me do a room I've shown before. Okay, I think I've shown this one. Yeah, the sheep aren't here anymore. Okay, yeah, I just do this design on this side now. But what I really like is, because in the movie when the boat pulls up, they have to climb up a little bit. So my old doors obviously don't have that. You just like get right out. But I wanted to make it so you climb up just a little bit. I did experiment with making this a taller ladder, but this ended up looking odd if it was up in the air anymore. So I've settled for just one ladder piece. So fortunately, because this is, oh crap. Well, the lights can stay, that's fine. In the rooms that don't have an elevated walkway, I have to move the entire thing up, and honestly, because of those lights, I wonder it might just be easier to do that. What's this for? Okay, this is the old whipped cream room that doesn't exist anymore, so I can just delete that. In fact, let me do that now. Get it out of the way. Make sure I don't delete anything I don't want to. And I don't even, this used to be the old access to the elevators for that room. You can kind of see whenever I move stuff or if I like relocate things, if nothing needs to be deleted, I usually just don't, so that's why all of this is still here. Yeah, so, alright, I know what I need to do here. There shouldn't be any, whenever you copy and move stuff with Axiom, display entities do not move with that. But I don't think there are any in here, so I should be able to just do this whole thing at once without much problem. So I'm going to copy literally the entire room. And I know I don't need to go out this far. This is the old elevator stop, but we're kind of changing how we're doing that. So I don't need to move that with this. I need to go all the way to the floor and one block below to get this stuff. So now I have the whole room selected. So I can do Control X and literally I can move the entire thing like that. And if I did it right, everything should still be intact, which it is, and now it's just up one block taller. So I just need to fix this real quick. And there we go. Now it's like good as new. You come in and it's all in one level. And the nice thing is the light blocks also move if you select it. So I didn't have to worry about that. So that's good. Just do do a pressure plate. These doors do not have a piston door in the Chocolate River. So these, I think I mentioned this a long time ago. These doors are going to be retextured so that the top half looks like glass and the bottom half looks like gray concrete. So you won't even really tell that a door is here. I mean, you'll kind of tell because the glass texture won't be see-through. But it'll look better than just a door being here. So, all right, one down. Next, I'm gonna do the whipped cream room, and this one's gonna be a little bit tricky because I keep this door open like in the movie, but it shouldn't be too bad. Delete this one. Alright, yeah, this I think can stay for now. I thought I did that wrong. Yeah. I don't know why I keep doing this wrong. There. That's how it should be. Let me think about this. I think first I'm gonna build it with the door shut so I can have a good reference. And then I will change it so it's open. Alright, I think I know how I'm going to do this actually. I know I just built this, but it was just so I could get a good reference here. Alright. Yeah. So I probably didn't need to actually build that. Oh well. Alright, let me do that so it's the same. So this is like the... Alright, I'm gonna try this 2 different ways and see which one I like better. new plan. I want this whole thing to be open. This is the center. Yes. All right. Okay. So yeah, this part is gonna be the open part. Normally these doors stick out to this layer. So I should probably do that as well. On this one, it might look a little scuffed, but this is the problem I had earlier. Okay. I think for this one only, I'm gonna have to go like that. Because this is supposed to essentially be solid. This technically is how it would line up if the door literally just opened, because like this is the hinge or whatever, if that makes sense, and then it would just close this way and cover this hole. Maybe it'll look a little bit better if I put the glass in. I think this is white, right? Yeah. I'll have to go back in the movie and see what color they have, but I'm pretty sure it was white. And just to make it look like this was, you know, oh, of course I can't do that. Duh. Okay, well, I'll just do this then. Yeah, that looks better anyway. And then since this is open, I keep the glass all see-through. Kind of pretend like this is supposed to be here, you know? Yeah. Like this ladder block should really line up with this back part. Which I guess it does still. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But the way I have the door, like the door should be on this block. And it's not, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of like I guess not anyone who watches the stream will know it's not correct, but I'm just gonna bank on the fact people don't notice. Actually, I think it would look better if just do that. Alright, now I do need to move this whole thing up by 1, which because this door is opened inward, that means it would get caught. And I think the easiest way is if I just move this door real quick. Yeah. Just move it over here. And I'll know where that's supposed to go when we move it back. Okay. Flying cow. Cow. Let me make sure I'm not going to grab anything I don't want to grab. Should be good. Alright. Oh no, the cow's gone. Alright, I'll have to put a new cow up. Okay, now I'm gonna need to fix this real fast. Alright, I don't need to actually do that. The door will fix itself. These don't need to be there. Okay. Alright, looks good from the outside. Let me just touch this up. Or wait, yeah. I think actually I want to cover that with the quartz, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I think I can. I'm trying to think how I would normally do this. Okay, not like that, but like that, yeah. Alright. Sure, that looks fine. Would it look better if I didn't have that? Yeah, let's do that. Because, or no, this one should definitely be gray. So this would shut theoretically, like, I'll do a different color. And actually this will be good to help me. Okay, so actually I had that wrong. This is where the door would be, you know, if it was closed. So this should definitely fill this whole thing in. But I think I'll leave that part open just so you can see through the glass. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I like having that open. So, alright, this is good. Let's put the cow back here real quick. Oh, and the name. I didn't do that over there. Let's see, I believe I put it... And I said I wasn't going back to this door anymore, but I need to do it one more time. Okay, yeah, I thought that's where I put it. Wait a second. Okay. I thought that water was flowing in the wrong direction for a second. forgot to do this one. Let's see, this is coffee cream, right? Yeah. Those look better, and then I believe I used to have this one be the hair cream room, but the hair cream room is supposed to be, I don't think it's supposed to be in that spot, so I might, or wait, I had hair cream here. So this won't have anything behind it. This is such an awkward space. I'm gonna have to really be creative of what I can put here. This used to be the whipped cream room. Clouded cream is there, fizzy lifting drinks, and then whipped cream. Okay. Let's do the cow before I forget. Name it so it doesn't despawn. Alright. Got our flying cow back. Did I not hit? Oh, I keep forgetting that I don't put the name on the door anymore. They go up here. I was like, wait, did I not save it? Alright, well, for now, the hair cream room, the reason I originally had it here, where you couldn't go into it, because I had no idea how I was going to make a hair cream room that didn't just look like milk. So I think this is going to be the hair cream room again, just due to the fact that I don't know how to build it. Which means that this will no longer be the hair. I'm pretty sure this is out of order, but it is what it is. Like for the movie, the hair cream room should be here. I'm almost positive. Alright, clouded cream, fizzy lifting drinks. I don't think I'm going to subject anyone watching to the torture of me trying to figure out the design for the diagonal doors. I'll do that off camera, and I'll go move on to the next like stuff that I want to work on here. Probably be able to stream for at most like another 40-45 minutes. It's gonna be a shorter one today, I guess. Maybe half hour. I have some stuff I have to do in a little bit, but like I talked about in my other stream, now that I have, we moved to a new place and I have a home office. So previously my PC was in our living room. Just my desk was in the living room, so if people wanted to use the living room, I couldn't really stream. So now it's nice that I can just come into my office and stream. If I'm gonna be working on the build, I don't have to do it in silence. So I'll be able to stream more. Alright, the juicing room, okay, that one. So barbershop, originally I was going to put the barbershop in here. There's an old room in here, like parts of an old room in here, that got deleted and rebuilt into a new vision somewhere else. So this room needs something built here, and I thought it was going to be the barber shop, but I ended up putting that over where I showed him Thursday's live stream. So this room still needs something put inside of it, and the juicing room is technically built, but it's a really old design and I don't like how it looks. So this is also going to get rebuilt. So I'm not going to show it. But I do have an idea. So you can see like all these rooms, they're kind of small because I don't have a lot of room to work with in between these doors, right? So I do have an idea, I think, for this room. So it's just gonna get deleted. Just gonna take all of this out. So the idea I had over here is a room, and this room is on the list. It's called the very, very small room, which I think is just a fun name for a room. I actually did have this in the build at one point. So I believe if you look in the Discord server where I have it pinned to how many rooms, all the rooms I have in the build, I believe it's actually on that list, but I deleted it like months ago when I was doing a new project for something else. So it hasn't actually been here for probably like 6 months. But I do want to put it back in this spot specifically because, well, one, there just isn't a lot of room here. Like, this is as wide of a space as I could possibly make anyway. And recently, a lot of the rooms I've been trying to make bigger and more impressive looking. And so I can't really put that here. And I'm gonna build a very, very small room, and it's literally going to be tiny. Which also means the juicing room right here, which I have been wanting to rebuild for ages, but due to the space limitations, I couldn't really fit a lot in here. I'll be able to at least expand it this way by 10 or 15 blocks over here a little bit. So this will be more kind of like an oval instead of a sphere. Sort of like how the whipped cream room is, I guess. But me putting a small room here gives me more room to make this bigger, which is what I want. So I'm going to build a pretty similar design to my old version of this, where I used white. But I'm gonna make it even smaller than how it used to be. So because of that though, I still want to have an elevator, fast travel method to this room, but I'm literally not going to have enough space to do that. So what I'm going to do is extend this hallway out. Well, let me think how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna extend this hallway just a little bit. Just big enough that I can put an elevator in here. And then you will go into the very, very small room. So this serves like many purposes, like I said, putting a small room here. But also, oh wait, let me think here. Am I gonna be able to, can I make this? What was here? I think I can make this smaller. Sorry. I lost my train of thought. Oh, building a really small room here is kind of like an easy way to add a new room to the build without it requiring like a month's worth of work. If that makes sense. The chocolatology room, which I've been working on recently, I mean, I've already been working on that for almost 3 weeks, and it's almost done. But sometimes I don't want to have to spend almost a month building a room. I just want to be able to do it in like 1 or 2 days. So doing this small room will let me do that in like 20 minutes, which is good. I need a break from the real big projects every once in a while. Okay. Oh, you know what? I realized I forgot that I changed the design to have the door back here. I don't need to have. Okay, I'll go back and fix those doors of the ones we just built off camera. But I did not realize that they were actually not supposed to be colored doors anymore. That was my old design when I was prototyping the new doors. is I was going to have them color match the glass, but I decided against it, but I just forgot. It's been months since I built those. So if I don't, I work on so much stuff on this project that if I don't do something for a while, I kind of forget how I did it. Alright, so I need this hallway to be 5 blocks like it is because our new elevator system is a 3x3 door. So I need it to be even in here, so I'm not going to put the elevator door in, but I just need to have the space there when we eventually do. So technically, let me extend this by 1 more, and then this will be a wall to close this off, similar to the chocolatology room that I did at the beginning of this stream. Alright, so like literally this hallway is going to be bigger than the entire room, which I think is funny, so. So now I'm thinking, alright, so I'm thinking if I want to put a piston door here, but I don't think I do. I think I'm just going to leave this open. But since this room is going to be so small, I'm worried that people are going to think that this hallway is supposed to be the entire room. So I know I just spent all that time doing that, but it might be better if I make this a small hallway, but for now I'll leave it. Okay, so keeping with the theme, of course, everyone knows how much I love using spheres. I forget what the smallest one is that you can make that you can actually go inside. Okay, this is literally just a box. This is like one of the gag rooms in the build, you know. There are several of those. Not everything has to be like serious, you know. I think this is funny. Like I think I'm gonna use this one. So, all right, let's just close that. I guess I didn't have to do that. Did I? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So this is just going to go right up against it. And that'll be... I didn't mean to copy that. That'll pretty much be... Dang it, I keep hitting the wrong key on my keyboard. Alright. That'll pretty much be a room done. I hope when people eventually play this map, they appreciate the humor in it. It's not all supposed to be like a super huge, impressive thing. Sometimes stuff is just supposed to be funny. Wow, the very, very small room, very nice. So that's why I'm worried this hallway being so big. Or maybe that makes it funnier. Honestly, like you come in, like onto the boat. I'll change that sign. You come in, oh, very, very small room. Okay, I've seen this a few times before. This is just kind of like a hallway. You go through the door, and it's just tiny. I like that. I think that's good. In the old version, I had like a TV sitting here with a little couch, kind of like in the TV room, but I don't want that gag to be played twice of having 2 little TVs, so, or 2 little couches. So I think I'm just gonna put a picture frame or painting. How small do they go? Does this mean, which direction are they talking? Okay. Aren't there 1x1s? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Let me see which one I like. I don't remember what all of them are. I don't want it to look too Minecrafty, like so, like you know, like I don't think any of these are, but the ones that have like a creeper head on it. Oh, that's funny, having a window in here. Okay, I think that's a window. All right, that's great. Oh no! Did my stream just die? Oh. No. Okay. Okay. My Windows gave me a notification that OBS disconnected, but on my end it looks like it's okay, so I hope the stream is still okay. If anyone's in the chat, if you could let me know, that I would appreciate it. So I did confirm it's very, very small. 2 berries. Perfect. Alright, just 1 sec. I just want to check on my phone and see if the stream is still working. Okay, yeah, it's fine. I don't know why OBS sent a Windows notification saying that the stream stopped. Okay, so that's done. I'm just, you know, like I said, I'm kind of just like checking things off my list of stuff that I want done. So these ones are all good. Don't really need to change any of the beads. Yeah. Real quick, just while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna go back and fix those doors. Because they're not supposed to look like that. Oh, I didn't even realize I had a hotbar saved. I feel like an idiot. Alright. So I think this looks better than those colored doors. Yeah. I just won't put a pressure plate there. And that one won't have one. Okay, that looks better. Alright, now let's do the next part. I'll at least start this. I'm definitely not going to finish it today because it's a little bit bigger of an undertaking. But earlier when I was showing the chocolate tunnels and I said the area off to the left that wasn't updated yet, I want to finally finish that so I can have all the tunnels finally be done. So this area here, this tunnel can stay, but all of this I'm going to delete. So I think the easiest way is I'm just literally going to delete it. Start fresh instead of trying to fix what's broken. Alright. Let's see. Does that get all of it? Yeah. Okay. Now let's get all of this. Ah, crap. Alright. Would you make a 2005 Golden Eggs room? Probably not. Maybe. But probably not. I wish I could say more about it, but there's kind of like some, what's the word? Like, secret's not the right word, but I have a plan for that is, I think, pretty cool, that will be shown at some point. Are you gonna do the shoe smells department room down the road? Yeah, the old sneaker smells department room I still really want to do. I know we talked about it in one of these streams, and we were kind of all brainstorming of what the room, or maybe it was in the Discord server, I don't remember. We were kind of brainstorming what it was going to be, and I think it was kind of decided it would be like basically just like a giant shoe store. And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And then I thought about it, and then I was like, that would require so much display entity work, like how I did for the barbershop and for the taffy pulling room, where I had to like spawn in every single little piece of like, you know, iron bars or whatever and manually adjust them. Because if I want to make like shoe racks, I think I'd have to custom make them, and that would just be so much work. And because you can't easily copy and paste them, you can copy and paste, but it has to be one item at a time. It would take so long to do it, so I need to come up with a new idea for it. But I definitely want to do it because it's one of my favorite names. Yeah. So the plan is yes. I just need to kind of think about it some more. Alright, so I also don't need any of this stuff, so let me get rid of this too. And just like that, it's all gone. So basically, I just need to get from here to here. Connect them up, because this part's all staying. I'm not really going to change that at all. Yeah, it would definitely be a challenge, one that I'm not really up to the task of doing. So I'm conflicted on how I necessarily want to start this. I want it to be like my other, I don't know if, yeah, we can see it from here. I want it to be my system like this, made up of the domes, because I just really like how that looks. But I'm thinking about this box here, because in the movie, you kind of, it does look like a box more so than a big dome in this part. This room over here needs something put into it as well. But the Rocky Road room used to be in here, and it was moved somewhere else. So I need to put something there, or else I would just extend this that way. But there's supposed to be a room here per the movie, so I need to have this space. So I think this box is gonna have to stay. I'm gonna delete this to give me some more space. Okay. I did not mean to do that. Why did that even happen? Okay, well I guess I don't need that anyway. This tunnel's staying here. I'll do it from just not as far back. Just do it to here. Alright. You can see up here parts of the old system that were replaced by all this. Is there any custom stuff in here? I need it. Okay, I can't go in that room. Alright, yes, there is custom stuff in there. Alright, so this dome cannot move anywhere because this room cannot physically move. Because there's too many custom display entity things in there that I would have to manually replace all of them, and I do not want to do that. So the reason I'm thinking about this, I need to get from this elevation to this elevation. I can adjust this tunnel, obviously, but I just can't move this sphere. So I think if I just kind of copy some of these ones up here, it should be okay. I wish there was a better spot for me to do this, though. Maybe I'll do these ones. Or here's... I forgot I had these. I'll just use these. I keep them here for a reason. If you'll excuse me, I'll be back in like 2 or 3 minutes. Alrighty, I am back. So obviously I have to customize this a little bit to fit the space. Like I don't want this pillar right here. But that can be easily done later. So it should be centered, I think. Yeah, so this will change a little bit. The important thing is I have to get this to this level. So let me see, how many blocks does this have to move? 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 9. Alright, so let me move this over. Move this up a little bit. Alright, so now I need to copy this like tunnel and just move it this closer to the dome by 9, I think I said 9 blocks. So this tunnel will get, you know, a little bit shorter, but it really doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3. You know what? It'd be easier if I'm gonna have to just delete this actually. Okay. If I just moved it back, this tunnel would like get inside of that and it would look really weird, so I have to delete this first. Okay. That shouldn't have messed anything up, yeah. Just made this a little bit shorter. Okay, now I gotta do this again. I'm hoping I don't have to move any of these individually. I hope it kind of just all lines up. Probably won't. Never does. I think that's all good. Okay. Now let me line these up. Now, technically, if I remember correctly, I think, yeah, actually, I do have to do that, so I'll have to extend that back by 1. But we can see this goes down too far. In fact, this is supposed to be like that. I forgot how shallow of a slope this is, so honestly this is probably already like almost as low as it needs to go. Because this needs to go down by only by 1. Okay. Do I have ones that are just flat? Need to go check. I have these ones, yeah, I can use those. Okay, I was hoping I had more. This will be fine. So I actually don't need that one. Grab this. Now, I built these in a really stupid way, so they actually it depends what direction they're facing, like how they look. So I don't know if I think this is right. Cause no, it's not. This needs to be here. I think actually I need to rotate it. Yeah. Rotate it. Because I built them in a really stupid way where they're not symmetrical on every side. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Okay. Needs to drop down by 1. Alright, so now we oh wait, no, I was wrong. Annoyingly, I'm gonna have, basically I have to go back and grab the other color every time. These ones are a little bit different even, or else I would just use those. I just need to grab the pink one. And then I can just copy and paste the ones that are down here instead of having to fly back every time. But this will all have to be flat now, which makes it a little bit more boring. I like having it go down all the time. Wait, is that right? I like it dropping down. The only downside is if I do that, you can't go back up, which is actually the reason forever ago I decided I was even gonna have the fast travel system with the elevator teleporting. Because if you go down the Chocolate River, you physically cannot go back up it with the boat. Because you're going downhill in the water, so. That's the reason I even have all that. Right. Because this went down a block, I need to, god dang it, I need to go grab those blue ones one more time. I always get lost in here. I don't know where I am. Okay, this way, yes. Oh, Control C. What did I just do? I don't know, I just did a weird keybind thing. Okay. Did I line that up first try? Nice. Probably once I finish this, that'll be it for today. Okay, now I should only need one more. And I keep forgetting because these overlap, I know I mentioned it twice already, but the way I designed this was really stupid where I have to overlap the old one, the previous one with the new color. Which means I can't just copy and paste from there. And if I was smart, I would just paste this down at the bottom instead of having to fly up here every time. But I can't just grab the one I just built and paste it in front of itself, if that makes sense, because the colors overlap in a very specific way. Alright, I'll have to just extend this out a little bit, that's fine. I thought I measured that correctly, apparently I didn't. And then I'll probably extend it off to the sides both ways like the old version had. It just makes it feel a lot bigger, obviously, because it is bigger. Okay. Yeah, alright, I was only one block off, like I said earlier, so this actually is okay. Oh god. I'm not ready for the water yet. Let me block this off. So I'll have to finish this other half of the pillar, but other than that, pretty much good. Let's do this real quick. Yeah, so we can see that this is, I'm gonna have to change this whole thing a little bit, honestly. I was trying to save it because I do kind of like it, but I think I'm gonna have to delete this whole little tunnel part here and just have it go into the room with these domes because the ceiling is so much taller. It would look really stupid if I like raised this up and had it taper down, so I think I'm gonna have to delete this tunnel and just put these domes in more. But that's gonna be another day endeavor. Yeah, I've been streaming for about an hour, 45 minutes. I actually got it, it might not have seemed like it, but I actually got a good bit of stuff done. It's a lot of stuff I've been meaning to do for a while. So I'm glad to have finally started it. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it today. I appreciate everybody stopping by. We had a pretty good turnout. Almost 59 views for less than 2 hours of streaming is really good for me. So I appreciate everybody, and I appreciate, as always, everyone in the chat room talking. I always like that. And yeah, I mean, hopefully, I didn't think I was going to be streaming today, so hopefully maybe I can do another stream sometime next week. I don't know if it's during the week, it will always be in the evening because, well, I work during the week. But maybe I'll be able to do another weekend stream too, so we'll just have to see. But yeah, that's going to be it. I appreciate everyone. Take care. I'll see you in the next stream.